I have been playing Pokemon for a long time now, and I am sure you all have as well. We each love using our own unique Pokemon on the team, but some are just better than others. Today, I wanted to point out those really great Pokemon we have all used over the years and have put in some great work with the top 10 best Pokemon to use in a playthrough. Basically, I'm going to be talking about overall performance in the games these Pokemon are in. Pokemon will not be on here for only doing well in one specific game. Their track record needs to be more impressive than that, so we will be taking into consideration the overall perspective. With that being said, let's count down these Pokemon. Every trainer starts in the same place, a conversation with the professor and a new companion to last throughout the journey. I know you can consider this cheating, but this group of Pokemon is really the same. The starter is made to make the journey an interesting one, but a relatively easy one. Some great examples for this is Bulbasaur and Kanto, Cyndaquil and Johto, Mudkip and Hoenn, Chimchar and Sinnoh, Tepig in Black and White, Oshawott in Black and White 2, Froakie in X and Y, Poplio and Sun and Moon, and of course Scorbunny in Sword and Shield. Haven't I explained this all before? I sure have. If you guys haven't seen the best team playlist on the channel, check that out after this video. But back to the starters. They have such versatile move pools that allow for an easy playthrough of the games. Of course, like any other Pokemon, they do need a team to support them, but they do their jobs incredibly well with a really well balanced stat line. They either hit decently well and sponge hits, or they usually one-shot everything and go first, so it's kind of a win-win. The starters do great in their respective games, and some have proven to do exceptionally well in their non-respective games too. Looking at you, Kanto starters in X and Y. Coming into the 9th slot of this list, we have the Rose Pokemon, Roserade. What makes Roserade such a great Pokemon is the early access you have to it. Across all the games it is available in, but Dew is available relatively early on, and access to the Shiny Stone is also decently early. That typing of Grass and Poison is also really excellent, having access to moves like Venoshock, Mega Drain, and much more. Both those moves are 60 base power, and in X and Y, you have access to those moves super early, especially Venoshock being available on Route 6. The Poison Barb is also available really early too, being able to power that up. Not just in X and Y though, its performance in Sinnoh isn't bad, and the same for Pokemon Sword and Shield, as you guys have seen in the Galar Best teams. It's got decent special attack along with speed, and will be your go-to grass Pokemon in any of the games it is available in. It is one of the best grass types out there, and I am super happy I got to put it on this list. From a grounded poison type to an airborne one, Crobat has been consistently appearing on the videos for the Best Team series for a long time now. Welcome, Alucard the Crobat. What can I say about Crobat that I haven't already? Well, to sum it up, Crobat's speed and attack stats are incredibly good, on top of being a reliable fly Pokemon when that was relevant. On top of its already good stats like its base 130 speed, 90 attack, and 85 HP, it has a crazy move pool to choose from when you play through whichever game you're playing through where Crobat can be present. Crobat can learn moves such as Cross Poison, Acrobatics, U-Turn, and even Leech Life in later generations. Thanks to that flying stab, Crobat has been a top pick for many playthroughs, as Zubat is also easy to encounter and gives a lot compared to many of the other flying type Pokemon. If you guys have seen the Univibest teams, then you should have already seen this flyer Pokemon coming. At number 7, we have the Univibest team's MVP, Sigilith. Sigilith is one of the best flyers in any of the Pokemon games. Not only does it get access to fly, it can do more than just a standard flyer. Its psychic typing gives it access to a plethora of moves that make it the ultimate coverage machine. It nearly solos the Univin Elite Four, and the early accessibility to it also makes it very handy early game and mid game as well. Air Slash, Psybeam, Psychic, and the other coverage it has just makes this Pokemon an ultimate bird. So if you plan on playing through the Black and White series anytime soon, you know what flyer you want to use. It is also very good in the X and Y games, with how early access you have it in there as well. Sword and Shield also offers Sig as an option. You can pick it up at the Motostoke Riverbank, and its available levels are decent for the mid game of Sword and Shield, so that's pretty good. Until Generation 8, this monster soared high in the sky and reigned supreme as the greatest starter bird of all. Flying all the way from Sinnoh, I present to you Raid Raptor. Wait, no. Staraptor. This incredible starter bird, starting out as a cute little starlet, quickly rose to the top thanks to its two incredible abilities in Intimidate and Reckless. Intimidate, which lowers the opponent's attack stat by 1 stage, and Reckless, which lets Staraptor take full advantage of its stab moves in Double Edge and Brave Bird to its max potential, because recoil moves do increase damage. And with access to close combat immediately upon evolution, you have a strong move to combat those rock types that could be standing in your way. A moveset for Staraptor that works well 9 times out of 10 is Brave Bird, Takedown, U-Turn, and Close Combat. You can even swap out Takedown for something like Return, back in the old days, or Facade in case you're up against status-heavy users in-game. Staraptor packs an incredible punch with its base 100 speed and 120 attack, making sure for a swift KO. The opponent is never going to know what hit him. Literally slaying all of Kanto and Johto, we have the king himself, Nidoking. Now, if you all have seen my Kanto Best Team series, you know dang well how good this Pokemon is. You get Nidoran early, evolve it at level 16, and get access to the Moonstone literally right after the first gym. Congrats, you have a fully evolved Pokemon before Cerulean. You also get access to Dig right after you beat the Team Rocket Grunt in Cerulean, so that helps its case even more. Also, if you speedrun Pokemon Red and Blue, you know how god tier Nidoking can be, so shoutouts to the speedrunning community. Kanto alone though, isn't enough. Johto is also its home. You get Nidoran a little after Goldenrod and can have the Moonstone after Morty. Having a fully evolved Pokemon around after Morty is still pretty good. Now, if we don't count Gold and Silver, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Nidoking will have access to Dig, which is still pretty good for the point in the game you get it. Gold and Silver, it performs okay, I guess, if you want to use it. Thrash on Nidoking at level 23 is still not bad, and that can also be available in Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green before you have access to Dig. Another fan favorite from Sinnoh and Pokemon Rep in Smash Bros. Is Lucario, one of the greatest playthrough Pokemon out there. Between the great offensive stats, 110 attack and 115 special attack, base 90 speed, and an incredible move pool, let's just take a look, shall we? Immediately upon evolution, Lucario learns its signature move, Aura Sphere, a base 80 power special move, which literally cannot miss. Through the mover learner, Lucario has access to Nasty Plot, and further on it can also be physical, with moves like Bone Rush, Swords Dance, Meteor Mash, Extreme Speed, and Close Combat, and that's just level up. From TMs, Lucario can learn Rock Tomb, Drain Punch, Shadow Claw, Thunder, and Ice Punch. From TRs, Lucario can learn Earthquake, Iron Tail, Crunch, Shadow Ball, Blaze Kick, Poison Jab, Flash Cannon, the list goes on and on. It's clear that Game Freak loves Lucario, and it shows. Due to all of that, it's no wonder that Lucario is so great. Giving some love to Hoenn, we have one of my favorite Pokemon, being the waifu goddess, Gardevoir. Hoenn, Sinnoh, Kalos, and Galar all appreciate Gardevoir so much because it destroys the game. That wide and diverse move pool, plus with the fair buff in Gen 6, really made Gardevoir a lot more scary than it was in Gen 3. Even in Gen 3 though, it still slayed the game. I can name all the most effective moves it can get. Psychic, T-Bolt, Calm Mind, Shadow Ball, Moonblast, Energy Ball, Focus Blast. These moves give Gardevoir the edge in any of the games it can be used in. Even though Gardevoir isn't in all the best teams, it can still be a great contender in any game it performs in. With the coverage, availability, stats, and everything it has power to, including its Mega Evolution, Gardevoir can help any scrub Pokemon player beat the game with flying colors. Its Mega Evolution is also really helpful in Gen 6, even though it's kinda late game. In Sword and Shield too, even with the Mega taken away, it still does great on paper and in practice. I love Gardevoir a lot, and I'm glad I got to talk about it again. You know, I see this Pokemon, and I'm surprised that this Pokemon wasn't the mascot for Sword and Shield, but Zacian and Zamazenta can be the mascots. But we rise for the true Sword and Shield Pokemon, Aegislash. Since Generation 6, this Ghost Steel type has been dominating wherever it goes. Aegislash has access to Stance Change, which allows Aegislash to jump from Shield form to Blade and back with the usage of any offensive moves, or King Shield to swap back to defensive mode. The -2 attack if you attack into King Shield makes Aegislash so safe to use in any playthrough. Every Pokemon in front of this beast becomes setup fodder, and as you proceed to clean house with your opponent's Pokemon. Aegislash has a fun time with Kalos, makes light work of Alola except for Nanu and Acerola, and even in Sword and Shield. You know, Aegislash's games. It does incredibly well. This Pokemon you have access to in literally almost all the main series Pokemon games. Spanning from a diameter of half the planet Earth, we have my favorite obese Pokemon, Snorlax. This dude, I will tell you all, has been in at least 70% of all my teams. And I mean, the reasons are obvious. It's a tank, has great move access, and is honestly just the best filler spot of anyone's Pokemon team. You need a fillermon? Just use Snorlax. Need to take on someone and don't have a plan? Use Snorlax. I don't really have to talk about it much. Y'all know how great it is. In fact, if I didn't put Snorlax on this list, I probably would have been mobbed down. Well, that pretty much wraps up the top 10 best Pokemon to use in a playthrough. I think these Pokemon all deserve to be here, and I swear I wasn't doing this on a best team bias. At least I tried not to. Regardless though, what Pokemon do you consider to be the best to use in a playthrough? Let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, why not leave a like and subscribe to my channel with notifications on, that way you never miss an upload. If you want to support me further, consider following my Twitch where I stream a lot of Pokemon content and all kinds of other Nintendo content like Zelda, Fire Emblem, and much more. Also, I've been reviewing every episode of My Hero Academia Season 4 over on MysticSage, so head over there if you're into that too. I would love that a lot. Want to support me further and gain cool perks? Check out my Patreon. Daniel Leone, Lady Crimson, Memory Martin, The Lazy Leo, Matthew Young, Awesome Lego, Jarrett Weiss Austin, Sodden Grider, Nigma97, and Kermit117 did, and I want to thank them personally for going above and beyond. It means the world to me. I think I'm gonna wrap this up though. I'm Mr. Gumbrand, and I will see you in the future for more awesome Pokemon content.